What is up, Cahir Club, and welcome back to another CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody's had a wonderful, wonderful start to their week. It is Monday. Boo. And whatnot. And hello, Mango, and hello, Brugger on the Twitch. Brugger Twitch edition? But hello, how goes it to the both of you? I hope your weeks have both gotten off to good starts. Today, we are back with our Pokemon Black and White Minccino Shiny Hunt. You're hunting for the uncatchable Minccino today at the beginning in the little tutorial explanation beginning segment part. Anyway, we are well over 7,000 encounters at this point, so let's I forgot to do the boop, boop. But it's fine. I got the counter up. I got the encounter tracker up. I just didn't get the other stuff up, which I need. You need the other stuff up. Really. You need it all. You can't just half-ass this, right? That'd be redonkulous, really. Hello, Professor Juniper. Everybody does call you the Pokemon Professor, that's very true. But that's not what I'm looking for. So let's try that again. I'm becoming interested in how long this is going to take. Which is a rich thing to say after a year. I'll give you that. Like, for a thing to say after a year of hunting, yeah, no, that's, pretty bold. But we're all thinking it. We've all been thinking it, right? It's crazy because I started this like a month after the Dunsparce. And it's really outlasted it, which is impressive. Very impressive. Especially since I've been trying to keep up the consistency with it. I guess the question ends in, will it come before or after Legends ZA is announced? Not announced. Is released. It's already been announced. Like, in my head I was like, don't say the trailers, Cahir. Don't say about the trailers. By the way, at the airport, when you were waiting for the plane to arrive, you beat the second to last of the stages that you chose the order of doing. Oh, hell yeah, congratulations! That's very exciting. Best of luck with the final one. I'm assuming you haven't specified it since it is left unbeaten. But yeah, long hunt. I guess I could, like, equally make the meme of the fact that we've not gotten any Legends ZA news. Still, entirely unknown what that game's gonna be like. No idea. Nothing at all. There are 4 more. You said that stupid Monitor for last? I see. Well, best of luck with the remaining 4, then. I hope they all go well.
Hey.
Hello, Mango. How goes it? I hope that your week has gone well so far. Gone off to a good start. A good start. Now you're here. There we go. Now you're here. You were eating food. Ah, I see. I hope the food was good. What did everybody have for dinner? See, I'm asking Europeans, which means they should have had it by now. Because it's, like, anywhere between, like, 8 to 11 in Europe. I might be going a bit too far there. Might be stretching a little bit too far back, but like, better sorry than safe, as they always say. You had pizza? Hell yeah, I love a good pizza. I made pizza on Thursday, and it was fucking gorgeous. Gonna be honest. Lovely, lovely pizza. Absolutely adored it. And the best part arguably the worst part. Basically, it was me and a friend who said, okay, we're going to make pizza. So we made pizza. And he sent me a recipe. I was like, okay, we're going to want to make 4 pizzas. We're going to want 4 pizzas in total. So, let's times the ingredient amount by 4. That makes sense, doesn't it? You know, you have enough recipe to make 1 pizza, so you times it by 4 and you have 4 pizzas. Issue. The recipe was to make 2 pizzas. So I now have enough pizza dough to make another 4 pizzas. Because we froze half of it. So, like, on one hand, way too much pizza. Like, no, we could have made way too much, but no. On the other hand, pizza for later. You know? Well, clearly 3 pieces left. You took 1. That's interesting since the dough is in 2 portions of 2. So, like, did you saw through the frozen dough or what? Like, they're unmade pizzas. We didn't make the pizzas. It's just the dough. So unless, when you say you had pizza for dinner, you mean you had frozen pizza dough, in which case I would say you're fucking lying. That's not pizza. It's also probably not that nice. I'm gonna be honest. Like, cake dough is one of the kind of doughs that tastes really fucking good, right? Everyone understands that implicitly. Like, cake dough, like, you really want to lick the bowl clean, right? Don't you mean cake batter? I do. I do mean cake batter. But, hush. Because cake batter, that's really good, you know, you love to eat that. Pizza dough? Yeah, it's not that nice. You don't want to lick the bowl clean when it's pizza dough. Most people wouldn't. There are probably people out there who would. But most people wouldn't want to do that. You don't know what I want. I guess I don't. But I can judge you for it if I find out. Life's amazing. Alright. Now then. Looks like we might get to 7,500 today, which is good. On course. Beep. We are on course to 7,500 encounters today. Over. Beep. And whatnot. Beep. Mango on the tubes. Leap in the fence like the movie Over the Hedge. That's not really about leaping the fence. You guys go. Bye. Good luck. Understandable, Brugger. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Little empty over there. I mean, it kind of does. I guess people are busy today. Well. Hello, Rob. How goes it? I hope that your week has gotten off to a good start. I forgot to add some more songs to my playlist, because Nintendo keep on taking them off. I wish it showed me what songs had been removed. Has it gone up? No, it's still 22. I think it was 22 at last inspection. That's still, like... It's still no longer enough to fill the whole thing, right? Which is annoying. Yeah, not too bad here. Hell yeah, glad to hear it. Yeah, things are going pretty solid in this corner. Had a nice... Okay, it says 69 videos in it, but, like, most of them are just unavailable. What else if I do? No, nothing. I just wish I could, like, look and see which are the ones that have been removed, but no, I guess... Because they're unavailable, I can't. Yeah, no, things have gone pretty solid in this corner. Had a nice chill start to the week. You know how it is. You know how it is. I should have put 2 scripts. Anyway. No, I feel like I had a brainwave, but I don't anymore. Like, we're in the run-up to Christmas, really. You know. Is it tomorrow that's the 1st, or is it the day after? Yeah, tomorrow's the 1st of October. The 1st of Halloweeny month. Speaking of that stuff, you sent a picture of a very useful notification. Unavailable videos ahead. Yeah, no, that's what it says. That's what it says. Unavailable videos are hidden. But I wish they weren't, so I could take them off the playlist. Which ones? Who knows? One of life's greatest mysteries. The Pokemon Black and White cycle theme was one of them. Same with Sky Arrow Bridge. I had that back on yet. Gonna have to go around and do that. I'll try to get it all done before next, what's it called? I'll try and get some added the next Friday. Because the Infernape raids are back. Rock-type Infernape. Nintendo are back on DMCAing again. They just do it intermittently, innit? Sometimes, like, one of the employees wakes up, they're like, people who do whatever, who do that, they wake up and they're like, we should take down some of those, like, songs again off of YouTube. That seems like a good idea. So they do that. They're doing Palworld right now, right? They are doing that, they are. For patent infringement. I'm not sure we know what the patents are yet. My best guess is it's just a power move. They're throwing their weight around. People are talking about the precedent it might set. But my best guess is Nintendo are just, like, ramming into Palworld. But, like, you can't do that. There. Throwing objects into other objects to capture them? That's the patent? Do we, like, know that for certain? Or is that just one of... Because I know that's one of, like, the theorized ones. But yeah, again, I'm guessing it's a show of power, which probably isn't all that good. I don't know. As much as I fucking hate Palworld and everything it, I'd say everything it stands for, but it doesn't really stand for anything. It just kind of steals everything. Like, it's not really its own game as much as like an amalgam of a bunch of other games stuck under the clickbait of Pokemon with guns. But I'm not sure how I feel about it being entirely taken down, right? Especially over, like, patent stuff. Because, like, Nintendo hold the patent, but, like, the Tears of the Kingdom, like, construction mechanics. Not a fan of that. Like, video game patents are kind of fucked up. Patenting, like, whole mechanics the way they do. Kinda yikesy. I am HO. Like, I'd be more on their side if it was over the designs themselves. But... because, like... it's the unoriginality of it that gets me, right? But... with, like... the patents and shit. You can, like, do unique shit with the things that they're stopping you doing, right? So while, again, I think Palworld is wholly unoriginal and just not its own entity, I don't think... like, I strike issue with, like, the idea of patenting some of, like, the core Pokemon-y things, because, like... Pokemon's franchise is an inspiration to a lot of people, and I think people should be able to make their own kind of style of that. Nintendo has 6,990 patents. I feel like... oh, according to this thing I found, you did actually find a thing. Okay. I read that message first and was like, I feel like this is a bit, but no, it's actually genuinely that. That's a lot. That is a quite a number, if I do say so. What do you mean? Yeah, Rob, what do you mean? What do you mean funny number? Gonna take a drink quickly. Always good to stay hydrated. Alright. Alright. It's a funny number in the amount, so obviously it makes it comedic. 90? What's the funny number? This is so lost on me. 19... oh, you know, I think Mango might be right there. Because, like, 99 is, like, one number before, like, triple figures. And that is actually kind of amusing. Now it's, like, been laid out before, like, that's actually quite funny. Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. That does, make me chuckle. Quite a doozy there. And it's like the number inside the other number. Oh, because it's like 2 9s next to each other. You know what? Yeah, no, I can't... Yeah, that's actually a good point. And, like, say it out loud, right? Say it out loud. 99. Right? Alright. Anyway, you guys seen the new Minecraft update? Once again, Minecraft fans are showing a just general lack of understanding in game development. And a whole bunch of spite towards Mojang. As per usual. I think it's funny because, like, people... Like, the mob vote was, like, agreeably disagreeable enough that when people, like, were doing, like, the fucking propaganda posts about it and shit, people were like, haha, that's so weird. But, like, at this point, people are just looking at the Minecraft community and, like, oh, no, you guys are just, like, spoiled children, aren't you? And that's just kind of it. Like... And I'm glad that's being, like, realized fully. I do agree that, I hope they add, like, a structure or something to the new biome. It's like this, like, monochrome grey, woodland biome. Where, at night, these, like, tree monsters spawn that work like weeping angels, where you're looking at them, they can't move, but if your back's turned to them, they can. But you can't kill them unless you break, like, their source block. They're, like, attached to specific blocks. You need to break those blocks to kill them. And I think that's really cool. But I think they need to defend... They don't need to defend something, but I think it'd be better if they defended something, right? Like, to be fair, it seems like a pretty cool biome to live in the sense that it's, like, using all, like, greys and... Greys. Like, the sky's grey, the grass is grey, the leaves, all that's grey, right? Which means that it could be pretty cool to, like, make a base there. I think. But, like, that's the only reason you'd want to necessarily, like, go and deal with the creaking. So I think they need to, like, make... Because I think with, like, every other mob in the game, right? I think with every other mob in the game is, you're kind of forced to deal with them somewhat. Like, creepers are just fucking everywhere, right? Skeletons everywhere. Above and below. It's just like, okay, you're gonna have to deal with these guys. But you don't have to deal with the creaking. If you don't want to deal with the creaking, you don't have to deal with the creaking. And I feel like it would be more interesting mechanically if you had to deal with the creaking. Like the Warden, for example, you have to deal with the Warden to get the cool shit from Ancient Cities. Like, Ancient Cities are full of really good loot. So you want to go into the Ancient Cities, which means you have to confront the Warden. What music is this? This is a Mystery Dungeon Explorers the Sky's Craggy Coast. There's a skeleton in all of us just waiting to jump out and scare you. There is. Just waiting to hatch. And one day it will. But yeah, like, I don't think it necessarily needs it. You know, some people are acting like it's entirely useless if it isn't. But, like, that's a new white wood type, which looks cool as hell. I'm gonna be using it. Like, I think this is potentially one of the best blocks they've added since Deep Slate. To be fair, the tough bricks. The tough bricks actually went hard. Now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't slate the tough bricks. I've not gotten a chance to use those yet, and they do seem pretty good. They seem very me-core. I like the kind of like rocky, stony blocks. And that's why I'm excited for a more monochrome wood type. So, like, you fundamentally have, like, that reason to go there, right? People are like, oh, you can get a sapling and then leave. But, like, fundamentally, it's always easier to get wood by just going into a forest biome and decimating it. Like, if you want, like, a lot of wood, you go to the forest, man. I don't know what to say. I've eviscerated forest after forest in Minecraft because I want wood, you know? It's just how it is. Then you make a wood farm. You could, but, like, I always find that if I want a large quantity of wood, I'm always more successful when I go and, like, just chop down a forest. Jordan, hello, how goes it? I hope that your week has gotten off to a good start. I'm shiny hunting for Minccino today, the Minccino at the beginning of the game. That one. But that one was not shiny, so. Future, and I suppose, like, I see the benefits of a wood farm. Like, over a longer period of time, wood farms are useful. Like, I only really use charcoal to smelt these days when I play, like, a Minecraft world. And, like, I get that wood through chopping down trees and smelting it, right? Like, charcoal's a pyramid scheme. Because you need one bit of coal, and then you can smelt 8 logs into 8 charcoal. So that's like another 8, so that's like a stack of items from 8 logs, and like, so I just tend to have like a tree farm running in the background. Not to mention it's common. It is. Wood is very easy to find. But if I need to build something out of wood, that's when I go out, right? That's when I leave the confines of my base and just go and chop it all down. Because especially if it's like oak and stuff. Because spruce and jungle, you can get giant quantities of those really easily. But like oak, birch, you're just safer mining those. And dark oak, and then by extension this new pale oak, I think they're going to be easier to get from the forests because they come in the big chunky trees, which you can get loads of wood from like a single tree with. Like, that's the useful thing with those, is like, you can get loads of wood from like a single one of those trees. So if you go into the forest, you can get loads of it. So I think the best way to get that pale oak wood is going to be going to that biome. I still think it'd be cool for like, honestly, I think the best thing they can do is make that withering heart, like that like thing that summons them, summons the creeker. Is that it? I think so. Is make that something you can craft into something else. You can't get it in a black. Not yet. They do seem to be, like, it feels like every update they add a new wood type, I've noticed. They've been adding, like, loads of forests lately, and I find that really funny. Because in 1.16, we got the Warped Forest and the Crimson Forest, and then we went a couple of updates with a new forest. Before we got to 1.19, when we got the Mangrove Wood, then in 1.20 we got the Cherry Biome. 1.21 we didn't get any new wood. We didn't get any new wood in that one, but we did get the Tough Bricks. Lies. In 1.21 we're getting the pale ones, actually. We're getting the white wood, because it's still going to be under the 1.21 moniker, because it's one of the smaller updates. So I don't think it's long until we get Blackwood. I would not be surprised if it's in an end update. You want to know how I know that? Because it's the creative mode menu. You found a wood farm that's not that big and its rates are high enough. You don't mind making it. I mean, that's fair. If I want to get, like, a large amount of wood, I just plant a bunch of rows of trees. Just, like, flat trees all in a row. Saplings. Just bunch of blocks long. Because those will all grow eventually. Wrong, it was Google. That's fair. I guess that does indeed work. Probably easier than going into Minecraft to boot up the creative mode menu. But yeah, I feel like if we get an end update, there's going to be a new... I mean, of course there's going to be a new end wood. But I wonder if it'll be, like, purple, or if it'll be black. To be fair, I think it'd be cool to get, like, a grey or a black wood from an underground biome. One of my most wanted biomes at the moment is an underground forest. I think that would go so hard. I really hope they add more cave biomes, because they haven't added a new cave biome since the Deep Dark, and that was more or less promised in the first, like in 1.18, right? I think white. They're already adding white. In one of the upcoming updates, they're going to add the Pale Gardens, I think it is. And that's got, like, dark oak trees, but give white wood. Oh, funk. Right. But yeah, it very much seems like they're trying to make a color wheel of wood, which, to be fair, I can respect that. I can respect that a lot. The one thing that does confuse me, Minecraft movie trailer. Everyone keeps on referring to Jason Momoa's character as Brian. And I get it, I get the meme, right? The, like, one where it's like, one of the characters be like, but you were meant to be a hero, Brian. It's like, I think I like the sound of that. You know, you know the one. You've probably seen it. Everyone keeps on calling him Brian. And then I saw someone the other day going like, wait, is his name actually Brian? In quoting the trailer, as if they said his name, it was Brian in the trailer. I swear they just haven't. I've not watched the trailers so religiously to find out. I don't think it looks good. But I found it funny because there was an interview with the director, and he said that one of the reasons they made it live action is because, like, fans have made so many Minecraft animations that he didn't see any point in exploring an already kind of, like, done thing, so I decided to make it a live action instead. And while I can see where he's coming from, I'm just not sure that's the way you should go with that, right? Like, surely... Gonna bring this back around to Pokemon. When they made Detective Pikachu, they hired, I believe his name is R.J. Palmer, the guy who made those old, old realistic Pokemon arts, right? Where he drew, like, what he thought Pokemon would look like if they were real. Like, he did, like, Charizard, Kyogre, stuff like that. I think he did, like, a Gardevoir one where it was, like, made of leaves and stuff. Like, he did a load of cool ones of those. And when they made Detective Pikachu, they got in contact with him and got him to help with the concept art. Because he already had, like, this massive portfolio of really well-done, realistic Pokemon drawings. So when making a Pokemon live-action movie, they called upon his help. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, they could have just done that with Minecraft. They could have looked at all, like, the best Minecraft animators and got in contact with them and got them to, like... I guess, like, the issue is it's the full-on animation of the movie. Like, it's easier to, like, go to an artist and be like, hey, can you help with the concept art? But I'd assume it's, like... I guess the question is, like, these animators already have an income. They're probably not going to choose to animate for, like, a movie studio, given that the amount of money they'd get is probably going to be lower. It makes sense now. Things are all adding up in my head. Maybe they'll pull a Borderlands and the movie will flop and then the next day they'll announce a game sequel. I can't fucking believe that happened. That was so fucking funny. Like, they were sitting there thinking, yeah, the Borderlands movie is going to be topping the charts, it's going to be popping off, everyone's going to be seeing it, and then we're going to announce the next game in the franchise, and everyone's going to go wild, and... I feel a bit bad for the guy in marketing who probably got fired for that. Like, you get to see the exact, like, series of decisions that led to it being announced right then. Because I just, like... I think people were quite iffy on Borderlands 3 from what I remember. I don't think people were that fond of it. But Borderlands is still a very big franchise. Like, it's still a huge franchise. I saw, like, 3 people talking about it when it was announced, and all of them were talking about it in context of the fact that the movie was shit, and they found it really funny they just announced a new game. Like... Oops. Borderlands 3 movement and graphics good. Think some endgame was a little bit bad. Story ass. Ah, I see. But yeah, like, I just think it's funny that, like, we got a couple of really good video game movies, and then studios were like, video games are where it's at! Whoa! We should do that! We should capitalize on this! And then we went straight back to bad video game movies. Like... Oh no. Yeah, so much so they were like, yeah, no, the movie isn't related to the game universe. It stands on its own merit. On its own merit. Man. But I'm looking, like, I'm wondering when we're gonna get the next live-action Pokemon movie. From what I understand, a new Pokemon series is in development in Netflix. Like, live-action Pokemon's in development in Netflix. But God knows when that's coming out. It's at Netflix. When was, like, Avatar live-action announced, right? Like, when was it? No. 2018. 6 years. 6 years for the Avatar live-action series to come out. So we're probably not getting that Pokemon series till 2030. I think the one benefit the Pokemon series has, though, is it's not adapting one of the most beloved stories of the generation. And I don't mean the Pokemon generation, I mean, like, the physical generation. Like, Avatar The Last Airbender's live-action one was fucked out of the gate. Because it was a live-action adaptation of one of, again, the most beloved stories of the past 2 decades. Like, people fucking adored Avatar, right? So, really ballsy. Well, admit, I'm nervous for the Zelda movie. I'm not, because I've just accepted it's going to be, like, shit-ass. Like, the Mario movie was fun. I'll give it that. But that's because it could fundamentally stand on being an animated film for kids. And those tend to be, like... Not tend to be, like... Even a mediocre kids animated film can be, like, fun to watch. And just an enjoyable watch, right? Like, I know people are like, oh, this is awful, this is... And it's like... It didn't stand out. It wasn't a movie I left being like, wow, that was the greatest way they could have done that, right? Was not a Spider-Verse. Where I, like, left with my jaw on the floor, right? But... like, it was, like, passable. It's like, yeah, I enjoyed it. And I think the thing that really helped it is that it was a kids animated movie. Which meant that it was, like, fun, it was, like, hearted, it was jokey, you know? It was all... Mario, wow. You know? The issue is when you get live-action action slop... live-action action. When you get live-action action slop, it's just brain dead. Like a mediocre action movie, it's just nothing. Like a mediocre kids movie probably has like a penis joke in it. Right? And that'll make you laugh because it's a penis joke. But like a live action... sorry, a penis joke in a kids movie. That's funny. That's like, so you're not expecting it. You're not expecting like a penis joke in a kids movie. Vaguely amusing. Right? And that immediately puts it in like the positive experience box. But even if there is a penis joke in the Legend of Zelda live-action movie, you're not going to be as surprised, because it's going to be like a, oh, whoa, action, whoa, whoa, he's doing the, he's fighting the Goblin, whoa, you know? I'm trying to think of a mediocre action movie to, like, reference here, and I'm just drawing 50 trillion blanks. Like, that, I don't know the actor's name. Yeah, I got nothing. Zelda, lend me your strength. Place your hands on my master sword. That sounded better in my head. Yeah, no, like, I've already written it off. I've emphatically already decided, like... Like, if I could, like, if any of my mates actually wanted to see it, which they don't, I would have watched the Minecraft movie in cinemas, just because it looks like it's going to be such a colossal train wreck. I don't think the Zelda movie's going to be, though. I think it's going to be, like, a delayed train. Like, a train wreck, like, you can't take your eyes off of, right? Shouldn't have happened. Vastly agreeable. But, like, you're just, like, watching and go, like, oh, shit. You know? A train delay? It's entirely agreeable that it shouldn't have happened. But, like, it's also boring as shit. And you'd just rather not be there. The Minecraft movie, train wreck. Legend of Zelda movie, I bet it's gonna be a delayed train. That's my bet. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's gonna be like... I don't think it's gonna be like bad. And I think that's his other issue, right? It's gonna be mediocre. I'm not sure if I've like hyped it up as like it being bad. But like when I've been saying that, I've been meaning mediocre, right? I've been meaning like mediocre as bad. Because what's it called? Yeah, no. They should bring back on track. Back on spirit tracks. Like, again, a bad movie can fall into, like, the train wreck category. But I don't think they're gonna let the Zelda movie be straight up horrible, right? So it's not gonna be a so bad it's good movie. It can't be a so bad it's good movie to watch. Because Nintendo aren't gonna let that happen. They're not gonna let that slide. Which means it's gonna be just passable. It's just gonna be an alright movie. And no one's gonna give a shit about it. Right? Like, when a movie's so bad it's good, it's like, haha, how did this get made? What the hell? Like, the first Mario movie, right? The first Mario movie, I fucking loved that shit. Because it's just like, what is even this? What is even this? Why is this Mario? What's going on? That guy's a Goomba now. Like, it's just like, huh? And that's what's great about it, right? fucking nonsense. Love it. I need to watch it again at some point. But I don't think they're going to let that happen again. I don't think they're going to let another Nintendo movie be that much of a train wreck. Which means that the Zelda movie is going to be doomed to a fate worse than death. It's going to be mediocre. It's not going to stand out at all in any way possible. It's just going to be action slop. As I said before, it's just going to be an action slop movie of nothingness. And I've already come to terms with it, you know. Nintendo aren't going to let it be bad. They're going to force it to be not bad. But I don't think that you're going to be able to make something good with Nintendo watching over your shoulder in the way I'm sure they're going to be, because they're going to be that protective of their IP, which means it's going to be the most mediocre movie. They should make a Christmas movie and base the plot on Spirit Tracks real. But yeah, no, I think we are in for a film. Trying to remember if Peach is even in the original Mario movie. Because, like, the love interest who arrives is Princess Daisy. I don't think she was even named Peach at that time, I'm gonna be honest. Because, like, Bowser isn't Bowser, he's King Koopa. And that's why the Goombas are the Goombas. This might be entirely false. This might be false information that I learned from an hour-long video about Goombas. But apparently, they might have originally been intending to call them Koopas. The Goombas. Well, there was the Goombas, which are like the evolved people. They called them Goombas because King Koopa was said too much, and it would confuse people. Just fair enough. Can't slight that, you know? But he was King Koopa. He wasn't Bowser, he was King Koopa. Daisy was the love interest. Trying to rack my brain, I do not know if Princess Toadstool was even in it. In all honesty, though, the best case scenario, they just use the plot of Ocarina of Time and add some comedic flair, I guess. I don't know. I guess the issue is like... I need to play Ocarina of Time at some point, but... I feel like we don't need to pander to 90s nostalgia anymore. So maybe I'm immediately knee-jerking against it because of that specifically. But if the Zelda movie goes Ocarina of Time route, it's just going to feel like they're doing the whole pandering to 90s nostalgia yet a fucking again. At least to me. And like, I'm over it, man. Which is easy to be. You know, you were born in the 90s. So it makes sense you're not over it. But I wasn't. And I had to sit through that period of time when like everyone was like, oh, remember the 90s? And I was like, no, I wasn't born then. Can we have something interesting, please? You know. Like, I was happy when we just broke out of the only the 90s nostalgia phase and like all of a sudden it was more more nostalgia, more recent nostalgia. You remember this more recent thing? It's like, oh, I do. In general, I think nostalgia stuff is like bullshit, but like we can stop relying on 90s nostalgia at this point. We don't need to do it anymore. And if it is Ocarina, then I'm just going to have the gut feeling that they've only chosen Ocarina because of the 90s nostalgia thing. But, I guess we'll find out. When was that even announced? I'm not saying it should even be pandering, it's just a decent Zelda plot. Got some twists in it that could easily fill a full-length movie. That's fair, I don't know, like, again, I just have, like, that gut reaction of, oh, fuck, it's relying on a game from the 90s. Like, you were the one being pandered to in the 2010s. You weren't there, man. It was always the fucking 90s. That was like the MO of like a large chunk of the 2010s was like, guys, remember the 90s? Guys. And then, no, to be fair, sometimes, guys, remember the 80s? Do you remember the 80s, guys? And like, that was it. I reckon if they do a unique plot, it's going to be, as you said, action slop. I don't know. I feel like even if they do adapt Ocarina, they're going to manage to make an action slop. I'm going to be blunt. Like, I think even if they do that, they're going to find a way to make it action slop. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, though. That's the movie I can get behind. I do think it'd be really funny if they made a Legend of Zelda movie based off of a game without Zelda in it. Like, that would be hilarious, I think. I guess that's one of the, like, I don't know. From the sounds of it, I remember in, like, an interview with the director said that he wasn't going to say his favorite Zelda game because that would taint people's opinion on the movie. People would be, like, looking for, like, all of his favorite, Zelda game references, right? They'd be, like, kind of watching it through that lens, so we didn't want to give them that lens, which makes me think it's going to be something unique. Which probably isn't a good thing, but I don't think it'd be, like, any better of a thing if it was based on something, because then it would just run the risk of, like, tainting it for you. Link's Awakening is goated. Link's Awakening is goated. I was more saying it, because A, it'd be goated, and B, it doesn't have Zelda in it. The closest thing it has to Zelda is a girl based on, like, Link's ideal of Zelda. So that's kind of what Marin is. Given the whole shit be a dream. Mario's sister. I fucking loved the little animated cutscenes they had in that game. Those looked lovely. I'm guessing that they would have led with that foot forward if they had any of those 2D cutscenes in Echoes of Wisdom, right? My assumption is if they had any of that cool stuff in Echoes of Wisdom, they would have like said that by now. I probably would have seen it by now, to be fair. Like, I've had a couple of spoilers. I've not had loads, which I'm chuffed about. For now. For now. Will I get spoiled at some point? Probably. Not sure I'll end up playing the game before Christmas. But, Bitty. Yuri. Close to finishing it, but you've not seen any. That's a shame. Because it started with one, didn't it? It started with one of Link washing up on the beach. And then it finished with one, as the windfish reawoken. Which Leviathan did they give the kid again? I forget. They had those cutscenes in the original to a lesser extent. They did? Like kind of animated Game Boy cutscenes? Yep, they were. You thought it was awesome? Hell yeah, that does sound pretty cool, to be fair. I love it when they just kind of take a console and like, fuck you, we're doing something interesting. This old brick, not old brick, this new brick, pushing it to its fucking limits. I respect that. Then again, when was Link's Awakening released? $1993, okay. Never mind. The Game Boy was not all that old at that point. I did not realize that Link's Awakening was released before Pokemon. Like, that's the thing that always fucks me up. Like, Game Boy Color was released in 1998. And the original Game Boy was released in 1989. Like, by the time Pokemon reached the console, it was quite old. But because I was born after all that shit had finished, and we already had 2 Pokemon generations, so by the time I achieved sentience, we had like 3. Like, I was only cognizant by the time Diamond and Pearl released. Which meant I missed all that shit and it kind of blended all together. So I always assumed that Pokemon wasn't, like, releasing on a 7-year-old console. It was your first game you bought so you remember it well. You saved up your pocket money. Best £15. And that new Star Wars game. 70. Then again, I'm comparing a Game Boy game to, like, how much were, like, SNES games worth back then? Because, like, it's easy to be like, games are now worth £70, but probably 40. I see. Okay, so it's still a hike. It's still an increase. To be fair, I think. How much was Star Wars Outlaws? I should be looking this up on Amazon. Star Wars Outlaws. 56, 53 in some places. On Xbox it's 70. That's fucked up. The gold edition's 100. I think Pokemon Blue was 30 when it came out. I see, I see. But yeah, no, I'm interested in Outlaws. I did enjoy Ubisoft's last open world space game. But I'm not buying an Xbox or a PlayStation to play it. So two things. It's got to come out on Steam, and it's got to be on offer. Is it even likely to come out on Steam, though, I guess is the question. Oh, no, it totally is. It's releasing in November. Considering it sold so shit, it'll probably be on sale by, spring, right? Because, like, it didn't do good. Star Wars Outlaws, the new Star Wars game. Then again, I'm more interested in Monster Hunter Wilds, and that's also coming out then. We'll see. I don't support Ubisoft after they tried to hide their misogynistic bosses of the employees. Oh no. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I won't pick it up then. Yikes. Yeah, crikey. Maybe I'll just pick up No Man's Sky. How is that, Mango? See? I can monitor your Steam page as well. Yeah. It's alright? Okay. A glowing review, that is. Alright. Suppose there's not really much to say. That's fair. That's fair. I guess I can't entirely slime. You know, big hyped up by devs before. Well, yeah, I know that story. I know the history of it. It's one of the most iconic, like, gaming stories of all time. Big, yeah, like a big... Yeah. It sure is one of the games of all time. I see. I don't know. I just heard they've, like, entirely, like, overhauled it, basically. Right. Looking forward to the Like a Dragon's pirate game. Oh, I think I heard whispers of that. That does seem cool. One thing you can add is that all the content updates since launch... yeah, I know all the content updates have been free. It's almost like they're trying to repay. It's funny because as much as they've done... It's not funny. It's not funny, ha. It's clear, like... they still haven't redeemed themselves in a lot of people's eyes. You do wonder if they should still be focusing on No Man's Sky, or if they should be focusing on other things at this point. But, like, it seems like a noble thing to do to, like, release all the content for free. Like, I can respect that. But, cool space game is most of my motivation. Love a good space game. That's why I enjoyed Starlink, honestly. But it sure is a space game. It does seem like it. From what I've seen, it does seem like a space game. There's a lot of space? What? Why? I just wanted planets. Well, space is kind of big. No, it isn't. Don't lie to me. Space is tiny. Absolutely minuscule. You can't make me believe that there's that much space up there. You can't. You will never. No, you're tiny? Hey! You're literally a mango, bro. Minuscule. I'm not a kababy man. I'm actually rather average height. I'm like average size. I'm not tiny. I'm like normal. Regular sized. I'm not a cat, though. Tiger. Average sized. Not tiny. Ugh. Alright. Tiger cat. No, just tiger. Tigers aren't cats, innit? They're panthers. Oh my, we're like very close to 500. You might even get to 600 today, perchance. Not gonna promise anything. You've tried Rogue Galaxy? I seem to remember that being a pretty good space RPG. I have not tried Rogue Galaxy. In fact, I don't think I've heard of it. Do elaborate. Do elaborate a little bit. Thank you. Alright. Wait, okay, I'm gonna go to the toilet. It'll wake me up. I'll be right back. Make sure to stay tuned, because we'll be continuing the hunt after the break. And we are back again. Tell your wives, tell your friends. Rogue Galaxy isn't like an actual RPG or JRPG even. It was on the PlayStation 2. It's been a long time, but it was an action RPG made by the guys who made Ni no Kuni. And it's like Xenoblade Combat-ish? Interesting, I might look into it. Maybe I'll investigate once I've finished streaming for the day. Have a look-see in it. Alright. Boom. Boom. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, I need to lock in. I need to lock in. But yeah, looks like I was indeed incorrect about September news for Legends ZA. I really am interested to see when we're going to get any news for the game, right? Because almost October. As in October starts tomorrow. It's basically October. So when are we going to get any news? Like, I'm just trying to think, is it going to be like that long away? I'm trying to think on like terms of Pokemon Presents. When the last few have been. Okay, so there's one in February. Oh my god, I'm right! I'm like kind of wrong, but I'm right. So since 2021, we've had a Pokemon Presents in February and in August. So in 2021, we had in February, August. There was one on February 26th, and then there was one on August 18th. Then in 2022, there was one on February 27th, and one on August 3rd. And then in 2023, there was one on February 27th and August 8th. But there was only one in February this year. So normally there's a second Presents. There's a second Pokemon Presents later on in the year. But this year, there was just nothing. Like, again, like, I'm just, like, I don't know the words to use for my, like, feelings on the matter. I just want, like, a small snippet to know what the game is like, right? Like, all we've seen is, like, a trailer that could mean anything. That could mean any kind of setting. I'm still kind of convinced it's going to be in the past. I'm going to be honest, I'm more firm on the past. Like, if you look at the beginning of, like, the little trailer, it's like drawing it in a book, right? It's drawing it in, like, a sketchbook. Whereas if it was going to be in the future, it would have been, like, all digital. Before it went into, like, the 3D blueprint. But like, it has been over 6 months since the game's announcement now. That's half a year's passed. Like, are we gonna get news soon, or are they gonna wait until a lot sooner? I think if we don't get news this month, I'm gonna change my bet. And I'm gonna lock in that we aren't gonna get any news about ZA until next February. If we, like, I'm not gonna lock in that opinion yet. I think we might, like, if we get news this month, then I'll change it, you know, I'll yield, I'll change my my thoughts on the matter. But if we get nothing this month, then my bet, February 2025 is the next time we're going to see anything about ZA. And then maybe it'll even be like a late summer, autumn time release for ZA. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're still determined for that Christmas window, honestly. Like, they've seen how well Legends Arceus did being released in January with a game on both holiday season beside it, right? Like, a lot of kids, I'm sure, got Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for Christmas 2021. And then Legends Arceus came out in January, right? And then Scarlet and Violet came out at the end of the year, which meant, like, kids couldn't ask for Legends Arceus for Christmas. They would have asked for Scarlet and Violet instead, or a lot of them would. So it's clear that a Legends game could stand on its own feet, if it were given, like, an actual chance to, right? So I wonder if we're going to get a... I wonder if it's still a year away. Which should be quite the wait. It's, Do you think they may be preparing for Switch 2? No. Pokemon's always had a trend of releasing a game on an older console before, like, going to the next one. I'm now remembering what my opinion on that was. I know, I think we might get ZA before the next console still, actually. I forgot about Switch 2. And I think we'll probably get ZA before it releases. Or maybe a bit after, but I don't think it's going to be on it. They already said in the announcement trailer that it's going to be on the Switch family of consoles, and the Switch 2 isn't the Switch. Even if it has, like, a similar name, I don't think it counts as... I don't think it counts, right? Amazon listings and shit declare it as on the Nintendo Switch. On the Pokemon website, they clarified it's going to be on the Switch, it's going to be on the Switch Lite, and it's going to be on the Switch OLED. They said it's going to be on that. I don't think it's going to be on Switch 2. I think Switch 2 they're saving for the next generation. So I think our first Pokemon game on the next console is going to be 2026 with probably Generation 10. Because even if they are sitting back and letting, like, their games get more development time, I don't think they're going to skip out on a release on the Pokemon 30th, on the 30th anniversary of the franchise. And I think that's going to be Gen 10, and I think that's going to be the first game on the Switch 2. I don't think the ZA is coming to the Switch 2. Again, like, I'm not sure if it's true for the GBA. When did the DS release? November 2004. So Pokemon Emerald released 2 months before the Game Boy Advance. Fire Red and Leaf Green released the same year as Emerald? Emerald was released in 2005 in June. And then in October it was released in late 2005. October. Wait. It's not the right one. Is Pokemon Emerald a long game? I thought it said no longer game. What's so special about Pokemon Emerald? Some people are fucking tired. Tired of the amount of gassing up this game gets. We all know there are many good aspects to Pokemon Emerald, like the upgrades from Ruby and Sapphire, the Battle Frontier, and time mechanics and other additions. My personal favourite is the Battle Frontier in the way. I just find it funny that people gassed up Emerald so much that this is a question that got asked and is like one of the main. That's so fucking funny to me. Anyway. Why is it telling me about Pokemon Black and White? Oh. Except for Pokemon again. Okay, so in America, in North America at least in 2004. When did it release in Japan? It released in North America before Japan. So in most places, the Nintendo DS launched before Emerald. Then Pokemon Black and White 2 came out after the Nintendo 3DS. And then Pokemon Black and White 2 released after the Nintendo 3DS, and then Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon released after the Nintendo Switch. I don't think that trend's gonna break now. I would expect that Legend ZA is going to release next year on the Nintendo Switch only, possibly after the next console. One of those things I find funny is the first suggestion for how to is uninstall Valorant. Classic. Nature's healing. Nature is healing. But yeah, it just surprises me that we've heard, like, nothing at all. And, like, the longer it is, the more I'm starting to crave the information, right? Like, I just want to know, like, the idea of it. A vague indication of what the gameplay is going to be like, and, like, the setting and stuff. Because we know fuck all. But again, like, I'm starting to think we're not going to hear any new news until February 25. They're going to do their regular Pokemon Presents on February 27th, 2025. And that's when they're going to be like, by the way, guys. Here's the new news on the game. Like, it'd be a really funny move to announce the game this year and then just say nothing about it, right? They just didn't want their stocks to drop. They were worried if they didn't announce a game, they'd lose too much money this year. So they're just staying radio silent on it. They announced it and dipped. And now we won't hear anything else until next year. I guess the thing is I'm unsure if I'd rather or not they'd actually announced it, right? Because, like, on one hand, they've announced it. We know there's something new on the horizon, we can look forward to it. On the other hand, if they hadn't announced it, would I be more content in ignorance? Would I be here today like, man, I wonder what's happening with the franchise, you know? We didn't get any announced this year. I wonder what we're going to get announced next year. That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it, right? But, like, that would be, like, an until February thing, right? Honestly, I'd probably be nigh on convinced we aren't going to get anything announced. If we didn't get anything announced this year, I'd be like half convinced we wouldn't be getting anything announced next year as well. How's the TCG game? I haven't played it yet. It's out in, like, I think... It's out somewhere for beta tests. I don't think it's properly out yet. So, I'll be able to tell you when I can get it. Apparently, if you get all 151 Pokemon, you can get a Mew card, which is cute. I like that. I'm just wondering if we're going to get a, if it's going to start tying in with actual sets, or if it's all going to be its own. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, like, brain. No brain. No brain today. Oh. I ran out of gum. So when I went to get bread the other day, because I was also in need of bread, popped down to One Stop. And on offer was a 60-pack. 60 individual gumlets of watermelon-flavored chewing gum for £2. £2 60-pack of watermelon-flavored chewing gum. And I have that now. Artificial watermelon flavor is funny, because I think if you gave it to me, I'm like, hey, what's this Cahir? I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't think I could give you that answer. I just don't think I just don't think I could. Like, I mean, I know it's watermelon. Like, I have the grace of having it next to me, right? Of having, like, this pot of watermelon flavored chewing gum. Like, I know what it tastes like. I could smell it right now. You know, I have it. I can taste it right now. If I wanted to, I could put some gum in my mouth right now. Like, I know what artificial watermelon flavored chewing gum tastes like. But I would not be able to tell you if you just gave me some and asked me. It's one of those flavors that just does not taste like what it's meant to. At all. Where it's like an abstract, like, I guess this is kind of the vibe of watermelon, I think. I can see, like, the vision. Maybe. But it really is just one of those flavors that's just, it's just not like, actually it, right? Like, it, whatever it is, it's not quite really the actual thing. Just like, oh well, I guess. Okie dokie. Slow day today. Brain-wise and everything. Oh, we just went past 7,500. That's crazy. We are 3/4 of the way to 10K. Woo! Yippee! Woohoo! Woohoo! It's not actually that exciting. We're like really close to over odds, which is kind of fucking whack. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of bizarre when you think about it. Yippee! It's not the answer. It's a lot of numbers. Especially considering, like, I've been at this for, like, over a year, maybe, like... It's not been a year and a half yet. I think that might be October time, maybe. I'm not sure if I started this hunt in April or May of last year. It was one or the other. It was just after I caught the Regice. I caught the Regice and I was like, alright then. Time for another big hunt. Oh, I know what I'm going to do today. You know? And here we are a year later. Crazy stuff. I guess that's the issue. If I, like, more consistently stream this, I'd probably have, like, a higher encounter rate, right? In fact, if I did this every week, I'd be at double that. Feasibly. If I didn't do Indigo Disc and Teal Mars shiny hunting, I'd be at even more. What's that? 14, 15K. So I'd either have it, or this would be my longest hunt ever. And I'm doing this all to, like, look at a thing. Like, I don't get to use this. I get to stare at it for a bit, I guess. All right. But yeah, long ass hunt. I didn't even realize I'd gotten to the big number, but no, I had. At the big number. You did it! Whatever it is, it isn't fixing your enter key, I see. Welcome to the stream, all the same. I hope that your week has gotten off to a good start. 600k in Osu? Hell yeah, congratulations! That's exciting to hear. Well done. You're lucky Osu doesn't use the enter key, really. Or I'm sure you would have fixed it by now if that were the case. Would be not that great if your enter key fucked up your whole run. It's half fixed. It's sometimes fixed. What does half fixed mean? Decides when and when it wants to choose the map I play. I see, I see. Because you use enter to select maps. Oh, so it... That's funny, actually. Sometimes your computer's like, no, I think you're doing this one. Today you're doing the Living Tombstone Five Nights at Freddy's Night Call remix. Alright. Like, it's a shame there are only 4 Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Wait, no, I think there's 5, technically, counting the Wii ones, but they're, like, the Wii ones. Like... I clicked on the OBS screen instead of the fucking calculator. This is dismal. Obviously, I'm upset there are more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, but, like... I hope we do get another at some point. Mystery Dungeon Legends Settler. Oh yeah, no, obviously. Maybe we haven't got another Pokemon Presents this year yet, because we're gonna get one this month, as in October, that announces Legends ZA is gonna be in the past and the future and the present, and an alternate dimension. And is going to be the greatest game of all time. And additionally, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky DX, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky 2 are both coming out tomorrow, actually. Your dad works for Nintendo, you'll tell him to add that to the patch notes. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and a new Pokemon Ranger game, obviously. We're getting a new Pokemon Ranger game as well. Maybe I should get a capture card to play another Pokemon Ranger game. So I do love Pokemon Ranger. Ranger is goated, but it gave you RSI. Ranger is goated, but I played it with a mouse. Last time I played the first Pokemon Ranger, I played it with a mouse. And in Shadows of Almia, Guardians of Science, like, you draw loops around, and, like, the more loops around you do consecutively, the more of, like, the bar it'll fill with each loop. But in the first one, you have to get that many loops around all of them, right? I need to draw that many loops, like the 30 or whatever loops around Raikou. I just had to, like, do all that. With no breaks in between. With a mouse. Which... That's why you aim with the graphics tablet. That's actually pretty smart. I hadn't considered that. I think it'd be a bit silly for me to get a graphics tablet specifically to play Pokemon Ranger, though. Would it even work? Alright. Then it hurts to hold mouse. Is that the RSI or? 9 quid at sex. I'll have to check at my local sex next time I go to sex. You know? Give it a sniff out next time I go to sex. I guess my worry is what if it doesn't work the way I need it to? Because now it's that I want to get, but now I also want to get the, what's it called? Oh no, Flash. I want to get the Nintendo Switch Flash card. So, I mean, I don't want to get that at some point. I mean, last time I checked, there was only 2 in the UK, which is a small number, so delivery is practically mandatory. Oh, I see. Never mind then. I thought you meant there were only 2 sex for a moment there, and I was like, that is false. I can name at least a couple. But you mean graphics tablets. Less convenient. I guess people don't take their graphics tablets to sex because they only get about £4 for them. Which, yeah, no, fair enough. Exactly £4. Yikes. And how much do graphics tablets like cost just regularly? Okay, so a lot of them are like... The first couple of ones on Amazon are like 40 quid. Oh no, the first one on Amazon is 50 quid, but it's 39 right now. Next one's 35 quid. This one's 29. Then there's a couple for over 100. This one's 200, but it's got like a screen on it. Yeah, those two have actual screens. $60. $30 for the XP one. Of the XP pen. But I want N2s? I see. I don't really know anything about graphics tablets, I'm going to be honest. An artiste, I am not. Not my area of expertise. At all, really. Basically, Intuos are best for small things like 3D art and Osu. Ah, I see, I see. I don't know, I feel like it'd be better investment for me to just get a capture card, though. Because, then I could play other Pokemon games on my DS. Like, playing Pokemon games on the DS is, like, the best way of doing it, right? Like, playing DS games on the DS is the best way of doing it, right? Also means I could do, like, a Tomodachi Life save file. I'd have to, like, tape up the camera for it, but I could do a Tomodachi Life save file. Both of which I try and fail at. For you, I give 1 DS for 700. That's a lot of money for a DS. I think they're like 30 quid at Sex at the moment. It's limited edition. I added Pikachu on with nail polish. Why would you waste perfectly good nail polish like that? Why didn't you drink it? Nail polish. Glug, glug, glug. Sorry, got hungry then for a second. You're full. You ate too much of Wall's cotton candy. Mango's hoard. He is. Whenever I get hungry, I have to fight him off with a stick. Gets irritating. I'm still impressed I beat Red, honestly. I was not expecting to beat Red. I know, like, Lugia was there, and having a legendary tends to help in stuff like the Red fight, but, like, I was expecting to get eviscerated. Like, I was expecting that Blastoise to come out and sweep me. And then it didn't do that, which was nice of it. But, only one lived? Only one what lived? But yeah, no, I was, one Lugia. There was only one Lugia on the team. That's 1 out of 1, so good odds. You make a point. But, yeah, no, all's well that ended well with that one. And again, like, first Nuzlocke I've won since, like, January. I feel like my series is starting to take a while. Which is great, because now I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, which is definitely not going to take another month. No. No way Tears of the Kingdom will be a month. Skell? Quicken Tears look. Rush through. Unless you're a speedrunner. In which case, I guess it is a game you want to rush through. Then become smaller and an ant. No, I like being tall and a tiger. You know, being tall and a tiger, I think that's pretty good. I enjoy being tall and a tiger. Nor do I want to speedrun it. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I want to properly play Tears of the Kingdom. And that I'm gonna do. And that's all I'm going to do. Oh yeah. I'm going to play Tears of the Kingdom. Oh yeah. I'm in the sky. Yelled that too much. Oh yeah, I'm in the sky. My head just did that. Even collect rocks? Who doesn't collect rocks from time to time? All of them? But I love a good rock. I think that they rock. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next Zelda stream, which will be Wednesday, obviously. Will I beat the Wind Temple on Wednesday? Maybe. Maybe I will do that. Maybe it will be Wind Temple time on Wednesday, maybe. Perchance. I hope so. Would be good if that were the case. I'll say that much. But I guess we'll find out. Like, I feel like I should feasibly be on the way. But, as per usual, horribly good at distracting myself. Which is why I'm so excited for ZA. I love distracting myself. I think I only beat, like... I think I might have beaten Bombardier by the first day of Scarlet and Violet. Maybe? I spent a lot of time faffing about. Just, like, looking on every rock I could find. Well, not literally, but, you know. Exploring. Wow. Heart Gold Soul Silver has such a banging theme for Cerulean. Kawink. You English. I thought you my voice broke glass, but hello English. Anyway, brain. I distracted myself. Wow. Australian's a good theme. Fuck it, we'll have another Doctor Who run. I love Doctor Who so much. So I recently finished season 10 of Doctor Who, which is Peter Capaldi's last season. And I think those last 2 episodes of his run are genuinely some of the best Doctor Who episodes. 2 of the best Doctor Who episodes. Like, Doctor Who dabbles in horror. Like, sometimes it kind of leans more into horror concepts than other times. Obviously, there's, like, the Weeping Angels. They're very iconic horror-wise. There's, like, the kind of gas mask. Are you my mummy? Guys. They're, like, another big one. Is that lot. And then, even more recently, there's been stuff like 73 Yards. Or I guess Dot and Bubble in its own way. That are kind of leaning to different kinds of horror. But Wild Enough in Time... impeccable vibes. Impeccable vibes. And I love how it uses the Doctor against himself over and over and over again. Like, everything that happens in Wild Enough in Time is fundamentally the Doctor's fault, right? A lot of the time in a Doctor Who finale, the Doctor arrives on a world and is like, we're gonna do this so that, yahoo! You know, that's just like a Doctor Who finale. It's generally like a big and woo thing, right? But like... I'm trying to think in terms of Doctor Who finales, like, if any finale feels as stepped into by the Doctor, like, if any of, like, bad events feel as stepped into by the Doctor as Wild Enough in Time. Let's go through the ones, like, I've seen, right? Because season 2, the one when Rose leaves, like, that's like an alien invasion of Earth. Boom, boom. Season 3, I think, is another alien invasion of Earth, and so season 4. I say I've seen, I've not actually seen the season 3 and 4 finales, but I'm pretty sure those are both alien invasions of Earth. I don't think season 1's an alien invasion of Earth. I'm not sure how much the Doctor went out of his way to meet those Daleks. So season 5 is the Pandorica. Like, now into stuff that I properly like seeing, right? Like, I know, like, the Cybermen ones, like, they're like, entrance into, Earth. But, like, them and the Daleks, like, that's not the Doctor's fault, them and the Daleks being there, right? That's not, like, a... Like, you could say roundabout, why is it the Doctor's fault for the Cybermen? But, like, it kind of also isn't his fault. Like, that could have happened anyway. Arguably. Maybe it is. I should probably rewatch it. Anyway, the Pandorica is like kind of prophecy, right? Like, it doesn't feel necessarily like initiated by the Doctor. Okay, no, wait, let me go back to season 2. That happening, even if it is the Doctor's fault, it isn't his fault in the way Wild Enough in Time is. Season 5 is the Pandorica, which is like a big prophecy. It's not really the Doctor's fault what happens to the TARDIS and River, like that. That's kind of like a you know. Like, I'd say that's like a out of his control type beat, right? Season 6, River's fault, but like, she didn't opt into that. Like, that was coming for her no matter what. Right? Like, it was people working against the Doctor who kind of bought that alter tradition. Like, it was never really, like, the Doctor doing anything but, like, being himself and saving the day. So you can't really blame... Like, he didn't step into that, right? Even if he did inadvertently cause it by being a good person. His fault? Not really. Season 7 is, like, Time War stuff. And, like, as much as, like, he could have avoided any of that, like, he wasn't going to. He's the Doctor, right? Like, he stepped into it, but, like, I feel like it was less of an avoidable situation as much as, like, the Doctor's morals were always going to make him do it in that exact kind of way, right? Season 8... kickstarted by complete accident. Like, as much as Missy wanted him there, him arriving there, unless Missy hit, was the catalyst of that situation, which she might have been. What was it called? Yeah, no, not really the Doctor's fault. Season 9, Clara's fault? Kinda, like, I'd say that's more arguably the Doctor's fault. But that's like the kind of culmination of everything, right? There's something about World Enough and Time that feels very, like, not deliberately stepped into by the Doctor, but, like, everything falls apart around him due to his own actions. Like, the Doctor wanting to save Missy, whilst we're getting spoiled, can I get help on how to progress past Genshin's prologue? What's the confusion here? I haven't played Genshin's prologue in a while. I was actually playing Genshin today, but... like, I'm interested where you could possibly be stuck. You're super lost. Teleport. If you're ever lost in an open world game, teleport to somewhere you know where you are, like Mondstadt. Interesting? I pressed the button wrong again. The issue is I need to, like, not hit that in the wrong place, otherwise I'll fuck up the thing. I didn't fuck up the thing that time, but, like, yeah. Save file corruption, by the way. Pog. Pog. Do keep speaking in my Rosebud class, but I'm going to continue talking about Doctor Who. If I can help you, I will, but I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, World Enough and Time really feels like the Doctor made a series of very bad decisions that he couldn't have done any other way. Right? Like, fundamentally, it all felt more avoidable than a lot of the rest of, like, the finales do, right? But... like, the people around him are constantly telling him, don't do this, this is a horrible idea. But he kind of goes forward with it anyway, and it all falls apart around him. And, I mean, I guess minor spoilers, but this is Capaldi's, like, last two-parter. Like, it gets him killed. his fucking actions result in his own death. You like Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is really good. I agree with that. Spider-Verse is so funny, because my dad hates Tom Holland. Hates Tom Holland Spider-Man. Despises it. It was so funny, because Spider-Verse came out, and I was like, I see a lot of superhero movies with my dad, right? Like, it's one of the things we do together. We watch superhero movies together and stuff. Because, my dad's, he read, Thor and Spider-Man when he was a kid, right? Like, the comics. And, superhero movies have been, not the only thing we watched together. We watched Oppenheimer, we watched Dune, stuff like that. Going to the movies together is, a general thing. But, we had very much kept up with the MCU until Endgame, at which point we kind of stopped keeping up the MCU quite as intensely. But my dad's never liked Spider-Man. He has been, not never liked Spider-Man. Never liked Tom Holland Spider-Man. Never liked the MCU Spider-Man. Dad does like Spider-Man. Does not like the MCU Spider-Man. I told him about Spider-Verse. And he was like, I don't know, Cahir. It's an animated film. It's for kids. Then the reviews started to begin. He was like, I'll give it a chance. And he now gasses that up whenever he gets the chance. He's like, those Spider-Verse ones, they're brilliant. He didn't know that, Oh, it stopped shuffling. It didn't loop them. It's really annoying. Give me a moment. He didn't know that the second Spider-Verse movie was going to end with a cliffhanger. He didn't know there was going to be a part 2. So he turned to me and was like, Cahir, what? It ends there? He was, and I don't say this lightly, not chuffed. You're the same. I went in not knowing, but then I remembered halfway through that there was gonna be a second part. Because years ago, they announced that it was gonna be a 2-parter. Years ago. Right? But, so long ago that most people just fucking forgot. And I forgot until about... I think it was near the end of the movie I realized, wait a fucking second. Wait a fucking second. Isn't there a second part of this? And as I realized that there was no way in hell it was going to wrap up as Miles started swinging through the city at the end to get home, I was like, this doesn't wrap up this quick. There's a second part. Clicked all in my head. I remembered the post saying that there was, the news saying that there was and stuff, and I was like, okay. There's another part of this. We're getting more of this. I also predicted the fucking twist in the final part there. I was like, wait a minute. The spider from Miles's, home dimension is different. No, the spider that Miles got bitten by wasn't from his home dimension. It was from a different dimension. So does that mean that he's not home? Spider Isekai into the Konosubaverse. Hey! Spider-Verse isn't mid. Unbelievable. But yeah, no, I predicted that twist, and I felt so proud of myself when it all clicked in together. When it all added up, I was like, I'm so smart, I'm so intelligent, I can see the future. I know exactly where this is gonna go, I'm so smart, you know? I also greatly enjoyed that every, every British person, at least every worth it British person's favorite Spider-Man variant in the movie was Hobie. Like, I don't think I've talked to a single Brit who, when asked whose favorite, like, Spider-Man variant was the best, it's always Hobie. It's always him, and I fucking love that. Because he is the GOAT, he's my favorite as well, you know? But, like, I don't think I've talked to a single British person who doesn't turn around and is like, yeah, no, Hobie was the best. And he fucking was. I was like... There were leaks about Spider-Verse that said that, like, Miles was gonna have, like, a love triangle with Gwen and some other Spider-Man. And I was bricking myself. And then they subvert that so well with Hobie, who... He's more like a big brother, found family big brother type archetype for Gwen, and they kind of don't clue you into that immediately, but then you twig, and then he immediately steps in for Miles as well. Like, that's what, like, I'm sure a lot of British people love him as a character, because, like, he's British Spider-Man. Also, like, punk and really cool. And a lot of other things, but like even beyond that, like his core as who he is as character is he's just there for Miles from like the get-go, right? Like he knows Miguel is gonna not fuck with Miles, and Hobie is immediately in his corner from the start. Like he's just instantly there for Miles, and I freaking love that so much. He's such a cool character. And it's like, as you watch, you realize, like, how in Miles' corner it really is. Hobie Brown might go. Sorry, Spider Isekai, into that time I was reincarnated as this really awesome, cool black Spider-Man with extra spider powers verse. I find it funny, because apparently in the comics, they've given Gwen powers, like extra powers as well. It's only Peter who doesn't, at this point. It's only Peter who doesn't have extra powers by now. And I find that fucking funny. I find that really funny. The other thing I fucking find so funny is, like, Spider-Verse is very much, like, kind of made... Like, Spider-Verse is, like, the cool superhero movies at the moment, right? Like, at this current time, Spider-Verse is like, oh, this is, like, the good superhero shit, right? Because, like, Marvel's fallen out of public favor big time since Endgame. Fair enough. DC EU, like... has stopped for now, and it's going to start later on. Spider-Verse is like... Spider-Verse is like the good superhero shit right now, yeah? I don't know why I started with that. My point was, I just find it funny that people, like... Miguel has kind of become Miles's, like, antagonist in the eyes of, like, I think a lot of people, right? Which I find funny because Kingpin was, like, the first villain he actually fought. But it makes sense because Kingpin, as much as Miles fought Kingpin at the end, Kingpin doesn't, like, Kingpin and Miles didn't really know each other, right? Like, Miguel feels like a much more personal villain for Miles. And it makes sense why everyone clinged onto Miguel over Kingpin in that sense. And I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I just find it funny that Miguel is, like, the Miles antagonist to a lot of people now, even though he's technically the protagonist of his own series. And I'm interested to see, like, how other bits of media end up interpreting Miguel from this point forward, given that he is now Miles' arch nemesis to a lot of people. Spider-Ham's Toon Force is my favorite power, and Hobie Brown's my favorite spider. Yeah, I can see that. I like that he gave Miles that mallet. I also like the fact he was bitten by a radioactive pig. That's incredibly funny to me. He may be a Ford, or a good dude who's misguided. I think it's more likely to be the latter, right? Like, again, it's funny people kind of consider Miguel Miles' like, nemesis at the moment, because it's Spot. I think Miguel's going to be on Miles' side by the end of the film. Because Spot's the antagonist, right? But Spot's also kind of this nebulous force as well, which is interesting. Like, it's interesting how the movie gives Miles so much to push back against. It really stacks the odds against him, and I find that really interesting. Because even his friends are against him. Like, Miles is backed into a corner that whole film, and I think that's why I attached myself to Hobie so much, because he is one of the few people inarguably in Miles' corner. Like, Peter B and Gwen are fundamentally part of Miguel's force. Like, Miles is just alone in that story, and that's one of the reasons I like Hobie, is because he's technically one of the only people on Miles' side. Like, inarguably, because Gwen and Peter B are torn. Does Miguel know Miles made Spot? Is that why he hates him, because he didn't make the portal, he stopped it? I don't think so. I think Miguel kind of makes clear why he hates Miles. Because it was from Miles' dimension that all that shit went down. And also Miles wasn't really meant to become a Spider-Man in his universe, arguably. Because his spider wasn't even from his universe. Like, Miles was meant to be a Spider-Man, but it wasn't that Miles. It was like, it was a different Miles who was meant to become a Spider-Man at that time. I'd have to rewatch the film. I've not seen it in a while, to be fair. I think I'm gonna go to 7600, and then I'm gonna do Pokidoku. And then I'll end off for the day. But, like, Miguel views Miles as the original anomaly. And I think that's because Miles is, well, like, wasn't meant to become a Spider-Man then in his dimension, right? It was through interdimensional meddling that Miles became a Spider-Man at that point, which means that Miguel views him as wrong, I guess? Because Miguel's very intent on, like, keeping the balance of the universe is correct, right? So since Miles wasn't meant to become a Spider-Man then, that wasn't a canon event. Hello, Shiny Celebi, how goes it? I hope that your week has gone well so far. I'm hunting for Minccino today, the shiny Minccino at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White. that one. Not shiny though, there though. We are also talking about Spider-Verse. Love a good bit of Spider-Verse. Did you know how PlayStation Miles is what Spider-Verse Miles 48 was meant to be? PlayStation Miles being the one at the end? Oh! I'm an idiot. I don't know how I forgot the Spider-Man games are on PlayStation. Is that like canon though?
Logos minted.
Thank you for subscribing, Shiny Celebi. Welcome to the Cahir Club. I stream Pokemon. Well, I don't stream Pokemon 4 times a week at the moment, but I stream it 2 times a week. At least this week. I'm streaming Shiny Hunting today, and on Friday I'll be doing Infernape Terror Raids. Obviously 7-star Infernape is dropping on Friday. But at the moment I'm doing a playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But that's still cool. I'd highly recommend checking it out. They share canon events. Dad dies, same powers, Peter lives. I think Peter dying is arguably Miles' canon event a lot of the time, though. Because, like, that's what often kickstarts Miles' arc, is the fact he doesn't have that mentor. 7595 is such a shiny Minccino number. Welcome to the stream, Felix. I hope your week has been going well so far. I guess we'll find out in one encounter. Spider-Man 2, you get to talk to someone in Spider-Verse? As in, like, someone who's from Spider-Verse, and I guess you can't gamble on it because it's already happened. My apologies, my voice broke glass. You were never here. Don't leave! Makes horribly incorrect prediction. Leaves. Great. Great show. You get a side quest from them. To be fair, a lot of people do have, like, mirror images. And, so maybe Miles from... I don't know which Earth. Maybe Miles from Spider-Verse was meant to have a similar story to Miles from PlayStation 4, but it wasn't the same person because in Miles' universe, Dr. Octopus is a woman. Which was a fucking big brain twist. Because you're just not like, she's just like Kingpin's, like, scientist, head scientist lady. Like, oh, she's just like the head scientist lady that supports Kingpin. And then you're like, wait a fucking second. Then you're like, wait a fucking second. It's a really good use of it being like a different universe, I think. Did we see Miles A use Doc Ock? Not yet, to be fair. Oh! Oh, do you mean alternate Oh! No, you mean Miles I use. Okay, I see what you mean. But we don't know if there's even a Spider-Man in that world yet. We don't know if there's even a... Well, yeah, we don't know if there's even a Spider-Man in that world yet. We don't even know if Peter Parker was Spider-Man or if Peter Parker died in that world. I wouldn't be surprised if Miles in that Earth 48, was meant to go down the path of Miles from the Ultimates comics. Where Peter dies and Miles takes up the mantle of Spider-Man. Which is exactly what happens to our Miles. Spider-Verse Miles. But, But yeah, the spider dies, shit goes down, Miles has to be a palace here. Exactly. Like, they're not the same, I remember the canon. I'd guess that Miles is, like, once again, like, our Miles meant to be very similar to the original Ultimate series. Where, again, Peter dies, Miles takes up the mantle, fights Prowler early on, like our Miles did, Prowler dies. 7,600. Yeah. Okie dokie time. Alright. Pokidoku. Who doesn't love some Pokidoku? We've got another one with a lot of, like, actual type categories in it. I like these ones more. Ghost, Fairy, Grass, Kalos, Psychic, Mythical. I think next Minccino stream I might try to get to odds. We'll see, though. We'll see. At least 8k. I think I might try to get to 8k. But that'll be in 2 weeks' time, so hold tight for that, I guess. But yeah, like, I'm interested to see what kind of person Prowler's going to be in this universe as well. Because I kind of agree with the idea that it's probably going to be that this Miles is, like, filling in. Being the superhero that Spider-Man can't be because Spider-Man isn't there. But I think it's also to show us kind of, like, what kind of Spider-Man... what kind of Spider-Man, what kind of person Miles would be if his uncle had lived and his father had died. I think we're very much going to see Miles kind of locking in that he needs to save his father, right? And I think we're going to see this new Prowler Miles. You bet 3k on the spot. You know what? Yeah, I should do a gamble on that as well. You're right. If I'll get it before odds or not. But yeah, I think Prowler Miles will come into, like, Miles' dimension to save the day at the very end, I bet. We do think. But, I guess we'll see and find out. Capiche? Capiche. So, Ghost, Fairy, and Grass. Kalos, Psychic, and Mythical. Trying to figure out which Kalos Fairy type is going to be the least put. Because, like, is Klefki going to be low or high? I'm going to go Spritzy. 10%! I made a mistake! And Kalos Ghost. And Kalos Grass. We'll go Pump Gaboo on the left. Uh-oh. And Gorgeist on the right. Those aren't the best. Then we've got Ghost Psychic types, which is Hooper. Hooper's little form. Not the big form, just the little form. Made that mistake before. Then we got... no. Dawn Wings Necrozma. I'm not sure how bad that is. I guess we'll find out. Then Psychic Fairy, Tapu Lele, Rapidash Gal. I'm going to do Rapidash. I always do Ponytail, so I'm going to do Rapidash. Calyrex is going to be the lowest. Shit. Psychic Grass is Calyrex. Rob, you spoiled it for me. Can't believe you do this. Ban him. You're right, I should. There are more grass psychic types, though, than that. We got... Executor, we got execute, we got. Ion leaves. Where did it go? Specifically Shadow Rider. I didn't say anything about the... Yeah, but Calyrex's base is Psychic Grass. Technically, you did kind of spoil it. I know you were saying Ghost Psychic, but you kind of spoiled another category, you know. Alright. Then Mythical. Ghost type Mythicals, Fairy type Mythicals, and Grass type Mythicals. Ghost type Mythicals is Hooper, and Patterrz, and Fairy type is Minccino. Yeesh. Grass type is Celebi and Zarude. I'm gonna go Cooper here because I like Cooper. 15%. Did I miss some? Marshadow is the most common, I guess. People fucking love Marshadow. Diancie was the highest tier. Diancie's Mega was the lowest. Celebi was actually the lowest tier. No, Celebi was the highest. I'm an idiot. Zarudata was the lowest here. Calyrex was the lowest here, but Iron Leaves was like 3% higher. These two are also equal. Mime Jr. was the lowest here, but I got 8.1. Yeah, I kind of did doo-doo on these categories. I picked the worst Gorgeist. I should have picked Gorgeist for here as well. Pumpkaboo just got above Gorgeist. And then Carbink was the lowest here, and Spritzy was the second highest, which isn't really what you want, generally, I find. I like it when they do bonus puzzles. What is my Pokedex looking like here, anyway? I don't know how to check. Oh, I haven't done Spritzy before. But I have done Beginner, Original, Zarudata, and Hooper all before. Anyway. That, I believe, is where I shall say goodbye. But thank you for coming. I hope you all had a great time. I certainly have. Love a good bit of shiny hunting. Will we get it anytime soon? I fucking know. But yeah, I hope you do join me on Wednesday, where I'll be continuing on with Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. We'll be fighting the Wind Temple. Would highly recommend stopping by for that. Do love the Colgera. It's a very, very cool boss fight. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. And I will see you all on Wednesday. Goodbye and good night.